from the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Hey, week after week, man, one day at a time, right? We talked about playing disciplined football for 60 minutes. Give yourself a round of applause. Hell of a job. I know the boss man's watching down on us right now for sure. He can feel it. We can all feel it, right? We're different. We're different, right? But it is one day at a time, man. One day at a time. Hey, shout out to a few guys. JT, 3 touchdowns on the ground. T. Jones had 113 passer rating. Hey, defense, 4 sacks. Offense gave up none. Hey, we say it starts in the division, right? That's the first one in the division, right? 1-0 division. Guess what? Now we got to go to LA and be 1-0 again. So that's the mindset, one day at a time, man. Love the process. Love the process. Love the grind. Play together. That's what it comes down to, man. Everyone doing their job at a high level. It's a commitment to excellence, right? We don't let anything slide. It's one day at a time, man. It's one day at a time. Hell of a team win, fellas. Clap it. Sit down, let's get a prayer.
3 straight weeks, 3 straight wins, 3 straight locker room victory speeches for your head coach, Shane Steichen. Joining me this week on Colts 360. Coach, there has been so much praise for Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor has obviously been spectacular. Tyler Warren has been outstanding in so many aspects. But how much praise should people be giving to your offensive line right now?
A ton. I think it starts up front with those guys. They're the kind of the engine that makes everything go, and they've been doing a hell of a job protecting. Obviously giving up no sacks this past week against Tennessee. The ground game's been going good, and they're giving time for Daniel to go out and execute at a high level, and the receivers are doing a great job of getting open and winning their one-on-one matchups. But those guys up front is definitely where it starts.
A testament to that, all these pages are just different stats on just how efficient predominantly the offense has been.
Something new
Look
today.
at this, right? I'll share. Oh yeah, we got it. Daniel Jones, the first player in the Super Bowl era with 3 or more passing touchdowns, at least 3 rushing touchdowns, no turnovers through the first 3 games of this season. How have you seen Daniel develop as a quarterback and the time that you guys have been working together?
Yeah, I think he puts in the time first and foremost. I think that's where it starts. He's always watching film, grinding, doing extra stuff, meeting with the wideouts, meeting with the skill guys, having those in-depth conversation with the offensive line on different calls, whether it's cadence stuff or ID stuff in the run game, pass game, you name it. I think that's where it starts, and then to see it come to fruition on the field the last couple of weeks have been huge. And he's one of those guys that no matter what happens, he's going to be the same guy, and he's going to show up, and he's going to work and grind and give, this team and this organization everything he's got.
Speaking to that, he seems really good about locking in, kind of like blocking out any of the noise that there might be. There have been such conversations across the league, across media, about how impressed people are, people who may have not known what to expect from this offense. It seems like Daniel Jones does not develop or draw any extrinsic motivation from those things. Where have you seen that Daniel draws the most motivation?
I think he just wants to succeed and be a great teammate, for everybody in that locker room. And obviously he's handled noise in his career and he's been through it. And, it's good to see him doing what he's doing right now. And I think the guys are all bought into who he is as a person and a player. And he just continues to go out there and execute.
Someone else who's been executing at a high level since he stepped into this building, Tyler Warren. We mentioned the rookie at the top of the show. And one thing I started asking a few of our scouts is, in a league that loves to find a comp, how difficult is it to find a comp for Tyler Warren?
I mean, you could comp him to some guys, but he is got his own little ability, and how he plays. I know I've said this a few times, but his physicality and how he plays and the feel he plays with, each and every week and every Sunday, it's been phenomenal to see. So it's a credit to him, getting prepared. Obviously, we put him in a lot of different spots. The mental capacity that he's able to handle as a young player has been impressive to see. So just very pleased with where he's at.
with the versatility of Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor just keeps climbing his way up the Colts record books, the way that Daniel Jones spreads it around across this offense. Where are you having the most fun as this offensive play caller?
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because of the guys. The coaching staff, the offensive coaching staff does a phenomenal job each and every week. And then the players going out and executing it and everyone being on the same page. I think we got a lot of smart players, and I think that pays huge dividends. There's a lot of conversations that go on through the week, little tweaks and changes that we might make on a Friday or Saturday morning, but knowing that our guys can handle it. You know what I mean? Hey, we're going to change this signal to this signal, or hey, we're going to adjust this route to this. We're going to do it out of this formation now because we found this one little tell late in the week. And guys are like, yeah, we're good, let's go. And I think that's huge. When you got guys that understand football and can see it that way, I think it pays huge dividends.
Okay, opposite side of the ball, your defense, 3 interceptions through the first 3 weeks of the season, highlighted by Kenny Moore's pick 6 last week against Tennessee. Against the Titans, you had 8 tackles for loss by 6 different defenders. How has Lou Anarumo commanded such buy-in from that group?
I think he demands it. He's very demanding. He holds those guys accountable, and I think the guys have bought into that, and they've bought into his scheme and his aggressive nature, and putting our guys in different positions to go make those plays. And when it happens on Sunday, obviously it's pretty good. You know, as a player, you feel it, the players feel it, and the buy-in happens because it's like, hey, it's working. And Lou's been doing it at a high level for a long time in this league. And, you know, to see it come to life on Sundays and have the guys make the plays they're making, like you said, Kenny getting the pick 6 to start the game, that's how you want to start a game on defense. And then the guys up front setting the tone with the pass rush and getting home with 4 sacks and having those tackles for loss, those are huge plays.
You started the season with 3 straight AFC opponents. You now go out, visit the NFC. You're headed to LA this weekend. They're coming off a game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Given your familiarity with that Philadelphia group, how much do you benefit from that? How much do you draw from maybe seeing what Nick and that group did and how they matched up against LA and things that you can do as you game plan this week?
Yeah, you try to pick little different things from, you know, the opponents they play. Obviously, playing Philly last week, that was a hell of a football game. It was back and forth, and Philly got back into it. It was huge. But I got a lot of respect for the Rams and what they do, and Coach McVay and Matt Stafford's, you know, one of the best to ever do it. So it'll be a hell of a challenge going to LA. And we got to be ready to roll.
Coach, appreciate the time. Coming up on Colts 360, Michael Pittman Jr. on the edge. He prides himself on bringing to this Colts offense and the aspect of Daniel Jones he's been most impressed with. That's next.
But he's so locked in. He's so focused.
Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today.
Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com.
Colts Nation 3-0! Good dog! That's another one, Adam. 3-0, baby. That's a dub. That's another road dub. Man, how about them Colts? 3-0. Road dogs. Let's go, boys. 3-0. Let's go. Division dub. On to the next, man. Shout out Colts Nation. 3-0. Home away, we're going to put on the show anytime, any day, and we out of here.
Headed into week 4 of the season as the Colts go onto the road to Los Angeles, a place Michael Pittman Jr. is well familiar with. We will touch on that in a few minutes. But Pitt, I know that Coach Steichen has reiterated maintaining discipline. Despite getting off to a 3-0 start, you guys aren't looking too far ahead. You're very much focused on week to week. How do you maintain that discipline as one of the leaders of this group, especially in that Monday to Saturday process?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to just realize that each game is a week-to-week thing, right? Just because you played well last game, it doesn't particularly mean you're going to play good the next game. So you really have to put in the same work that was getting you those results, just like you don't want to start feeling good. Hey, I don't got to do this because I did that last Sunday. No, like you got to do the same exact thing week in and week out.
And one of the ways you guys are doing that is by creating an edge. That was a heavy point of emphasis coming into the season. Mm-hmm. Last week I asked Jim Bob if there is anyone better at maintaining and creating an edge than yourself. And he laughed a little bit. He said it's a good observation. He's like, Pitt likes to get in there. He likes to do the dirty stuff, likes to be physical. How much pride do you take in bringing that edge to your offense?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just try to play as wild as I can and just with recklessness and I hope that it helps the team. So.
Certainly does help the team, no doubt about it. And someone who has benefited from that, Daniel Jones, your quarterback. Now in the time that you guys have been together, what is something that has either impressed you or surprised you about Daniel Jones?
Probably the amount of work that he puts in week to week, day to day. I mean, like every time I text him or call him, he's watching film, he's breaking down coverages, he's looking at the scheme, he's getting treatment. I'm like, dude, like, do you have time to do anything else? Like, just like, can we do something else? But he's so locked in, he's so focused, and I feel like it shows. I mean, he's been great. I mean, offensive line has played great, and when you have that plus JT, I mean, everything else is easy, like they make my job easy.
How does having a quarterback like Daniel with all of those things that he does so well help you develop even further and benefit you as a receiver?
Absolutely. I mean, just his understanding of like coverage and pockets that when we're on the same page, I feel like you saw that last week where I'm kind of running through coverage and just sitting in those spots where there should be openings depending on the coverage like that they're running, and he's able to hit me like right on time for maximum yardage. So he's been doing a great job. Offensive line's been doing a great job, and of course JT. We're just gonna hop on the JT train, is what I like to say. So everybody hopping on the JT train right there.
You got the engineer right up front. I'll bring up the caboose. JT is someone who brings so much physicality to the run game. You bring that so much into the passing game. How much pride do you take in dragging defenders with you in those yards after contact situation and frustrating guys when you're just dragging them across the goal line?
Yeah, I mean, every yard matters. Now you got to hang on to that ball, right? Because you can get a little stretched out sometimes. But yeah, I mean, on a team like this where we have so many talented guys, you don't know like when that ball is coming back. So you better maximize it. So,
what is the ceiling for this defense because of all of the different weapons that you have? Of course, all your receivers. Now you add Tyler Warren. You've talked about Jonathan Taylor, this O-line.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, even Reggie was saying that he hasn't really seen an offense like this like in a long time. And coming from him, like that means a lot, right?
He'd be one to know.
Yeah, because he was on an offense full of Hall of Fame guys. So for him to say that, like that just speaks to it.
You obviously played college football at USC. You grew up not too far from SoFi Stadium, maybe like 30 minutes or so, maybe more in terms of LA traffic. But how exciting is it to now get an opportunity to go back and play there as a pro? I know you still have some family and different things out there.
Yeah, so I wish we were still playing in the Coliseum, but they played there while SoFi was being built. So I've never gotten to play in SoFi, but I've seen it, and it looks super nice. And just being able to go home. I'm spending a lot on tickets this week, so hopefully no fines like in the game, or else I'll be playing for free.
Okay, one thing too, we talked about mentioning kind of your connections and your family. Just last month, you welcomed another daughter, now the Pittman squad of 4. Your newest daughter, your youngest daughter, is undefeated in her lifetime.
Undefeated.
3-0.
Yeah, maybe she's our good luck charm.
I very well think she just might be. Michael, appreciate you so much. Good luck this weekend in LA, and hope it is a spectacular show for your hometown crowd.
Thank you.
Still ahead, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, is back in studio to break down the most noteworthy stats as the Colts venture west in search of a 4-0 start. That's next on Colts 360.
And he just looks like one of the best backs in the NFL.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy is our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers and enter for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 60 at Snickers.com/halftime. It's time for the Fordham Credit Union Question of the Week. This season, Daniel Jones became just the third Colts quarterback with a 100-plus passer rating in each of the team's first 3 games of the season. Who are the other 2? Hall of Famer Peyton Manning in 2010 and Hall of Famer Johnny Unitas in 1967. Weeks 1 through 3 of 2025 also marks the first time in Jones's career he's reached 100 passer rating in 3 straight games. Visit the Fordham Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Fordham Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
Back now with voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, because this start of the season has been historic. It has been noteworthy. There have been milestones. So this is a little bit we call take note, Maytay, as the Colts wrap up the month of September, the first month of the season, with their first NFC test of the 2025 campaign. And we're going to start with the Colts offense because there have been a whole lot of notes to take, those statistics that have been quite noticeable from the offensive production.
Yeah, I think we have to start with Daniel Jones. Let's take note on him. Through 3 games.
I think everybody in the league is taking note on him.
Absolutely. And he's off to a terrific start. He is the first player in the history of the NFL with 3+ passing touchdowns, 3+ rushing touchdowns, and most importantly, no giveaways, 0 turnovers through the first 3 games of the season. And you're seeing everything that we saw in training camp come to fruition. The pre-snap recognition, getting the Colts into good plays, out of bad plays, always knowing where to go with the football. This offense right now, Lara, is so dynamic. It's almost like they have 2 different identities. They have the ground and pound, great offensive line. Jonathan Taylor's doing what he's doing. We're going to talk about him more in just a second. But then they also have this explosive pass game. They're so diverse, so many pass catchers. Daniel Jones keeping the Colts on schedule, down and distance-wise. But not only that, but it's the explosive plays, right? He leads the NFL in yards per attempt, which is a dorky stat, but that's, it's a good, healthy indicator of how explosive your offense is. That number for Daniel Jones is over 9. And the Colts have 6 pass catchers that are averaging at least 10 yards per catch so far on the season. So, pick your poison. How do you want to stop the Colts? They're a very dynamic offense right now, and right now I think they're probably a defensive coordinator's nightmare because every defensive coordinator, including Lou Anarumo for the Colts, what do they want to do? They want to take away the other team's best player. They want to make you play left-handed. Well, who is that for the Colts? Is it Michael Pittman Jr.? Is it Tyler Warren?
Pick your poison.
Is it, selling out to stop Jonathan Taylor? There are multiple ways for the Colts to move the ball. And one more dorky stat that I'm just obsessed with right now is that the Colts are scoring points on 77% of their offensive possessions.
They have just 1 punt.
1 punt on the year, notably no turnovers. But yeah, that is the best efficiency number by any team in the NFL in the last 45 years. And they're doing it with a new quarterback that they picked up in March.
And, it was really nice of Daniel Jones to let Jonathan Taylor score a couple rushing touchdowns against the Tennessee Titans. You were talking about 3 passing, 3 rushing, minimum of both. Well, JT had 3 rushing touchdowns against Tennessee, and man, what a week it has been for him.
No doubt about it. Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor had his 3rd career game with 100+ rushing yards and 3 or more rushing touchdowns. He broke a tie with Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk for the 2nd most such games in Colts history. I think
behind only Edgerrin James, right? He has 5.
He's got 5 of them. So,
it's elite company. A couple Hall of Famers in there.
No doubt. I mean, and he's tracking towards that recognition, right? We've got a long way to go for Jonathan Taylor in his career, but certainly, has a Canton-style resume already, and he just gets better as the game goes on. We've seen it. He's over 200 rushing yards already on the season just in the second half of games. So, that's when he kind of wears down a defense. That's when he pops off those big runs. He has a 68-yard run and a 46-yard gallop already in the second halves of games. And I don't want to speak too soon, but he's on pace for an epic season, just like the one he had in 2021. Remember that year he led the NFL in rushing yards over 1,800. Well, if you do the math, he's on pace already this season for 1,900 yards. So he had a fantastic training camp, and he just looks like one of the best backs in the NFL.
And he has that lethal, almost like stutter step kind of juke that he throws in there, the stiff arm. Something we talked to Shane Steichen about earlier in the show was just how much fun it is as an offensive play caller to have all of these weapons. Okay, last thing to wrap it up, Matt, the significance of the Colts getting off to a 3-0 start, now with the opportunity to improve to 4-0 to wrap up the month of September.
Yeah, so they're 3-0. And since the NFL expanded the playoffs to 7 teams in each conference in 2020, there have been 22 teams start 3-0. 19 of them have gone on to make the playoffs. That's 86%. So the Colts have an 86% chance, based on the history and the math, of making the playoffs. And that's big around here with all the urgency and all the frustration, trying to make the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. But listen, 3-0 can quickly move to 3-3 if you're not on top of it, right? And I still think there's some skeptics out there that look at this Colts team and they say, it's who you've played. Daniel Jones, this whole thing is a fluke. The Colts are going to come back to reality a little bit. I mean, the teams they played are 1-8. They've been outscored by 80 points. But you know what? I don't care. 3-0 is 3-0. And, you win by 21 points on the road against a division team. That's hard to do. Right? So, and the game last week against Tennessee really didn't even feel that close. It was complete domination. I just think there's so many indicators that this team, and the success that they've had is very transferable, and I'm excited about it, but I don't want to see this team rest on their laurels. I want to see them go to LA, beat a good Rams team, and validate a great start.
And to me, this is one of the reasons you brought in so many guys who have playoff experience. Daniel Jones has won a playoff game. Mooney Ward has won a Super Bowl. Cam Bynum has been on winning teams. So I think that in this aspect, it's guys who know how to stay locked in. They know about this process. Mooney Ward said it after the game in Tennessee, I've had plenty of 3-0 starts. This is not new territory for him. And this team has stayed so disciplined. Got to continue doing that. Special thank you, Matt Taylor. Great notes to take. You can drop some of that wisdom on your friends this weekend as you're getting ready for that 4 o'clock kickoff from SoFi Stadium as the Colts take on the Rams. Thank you for spending part of your weekend with us here on Colts 360. Special thank you to head coach Shane Steichen and wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. as well.